Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. Sitting next to me is Mike Brenner. It's Friday, November 13th.
Friday the 13th.
Yes, that's right. I'm not superstitious like that, but we're going to do we've got 11 games on the NBA card, and yesterday, 3 games on the Thursday card. Mike Brenner, 2-1 against the spread. Haters have to wait another day to hate on Mike Brenner. Nice job, Mike.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Pete. You know the only team that fucked me last night? The only team.
Which one is that? Oh, very clever.
Absolutely.
Very clever. Wow.
Again.
you put a lot of time into that.
Well, actually, I didn't, but a friend of mine did. He knew the pain I was going through. I got this
Yes.
sick addiction with the Clippers, and it's getting out of control. But yeah, very good day yesterday. And you, too, I must say, is still sitting on a 3-0 run. So I'm anxious to see what you might have
today there's 11 games. There's a lot of interesting situations, and I got a lot of leans. I made a couple of bets on the overnight, so I'm not sure if I'm going to give any official picks. I might not, because I'm going to start, keeping track of the records that we give in this show.
Sure,
and
I would like that. I think we should.
That's can be treacherous, because when you're not tracking the record, you can be like, hey, I've had a couple winners recently. Then you come with the overall record like 17 and 18 against the spread. But we're going to do that. So I'm very careful about my picks. A lot of interesting things to mention. First thing I want to bring up is Cleveland Cavaliers, 5 straight up wins, but ATS losses.
Yes.
And they're a road favorite against the Knicks. This is one of my borderline picks. I was thinking about the over. I bet the over at 201 on the overnight lines. Now it's 203.5. Not sure what I think about that, but I don't know. Again, they're a road favorite against the Knicks.
Yeah, it is. It's funny. That seems to be a pattern for them. And also, Pete, when he plays on the road and the other team just gets up for him, particularly Carmelo Anthony. So I'll tell you, this Kristaps Porzingis, the guy from Czechoslovakia that the Knicks went ahead and drafted, this kid is really standing up to the plate. He's stealing the show in New York, and he's going to be something to dealt with. But that line scares me, and again, they don't cover well on the road, so I'm backing off completely, but I will enjoy the show because a lot of egos involved in New York tonight. Yeah,
well, I have a bet on the over 201, but I don't think I'm going to give a pick on 203.5. And then also the Indiana Pacers covered 6 in a row and also going under. They've gone under in 6 out of their last 7. They're playing Minnesota. Minnesota's on a back-to-back, so I'm leaning under. I'm leaning Indiana. I think I'm leaning under more. The line is right now 200. It's gotten a bet up from the overnight, which was I think 197.5. Indiana minus 7.5, kind of a steep favorite line. I'm thinking about taking the under 200.
Okay, well, I wouldn't doubt you on that because you are totals Loshak,
yes.
And I mean that with all due respect. And you seem to have a pattern of knowing when teams are tired, so that might play out perfect with Minnesota being on a back-to-back. And my hat's off. Frank Vogel's done a nice job piecing that team together. So, I don't have a pick on that, but I'm kind of liking what you're thinking on the under as maybe a lean. So,
right. Yeah. Then we've also got revenge for the Chicago Bulls, right? In the NBA, you always want to look out for a team when they get absolutely torched. Chicago gave up 130 to Charlotte last week, about 4 or 5 games ago, and now it's the rematch in Chicago. This is another one where I'm leaning towards the over, and I picked that one. Bet it. Right now it's 200. Chicago, when they were supposed to be playing more up-tempo this year, also focusing, trying to maintain the defensive effectiveness that they've had in previous years. But at 200, the last game against Charlotte went to 235. Yeah. I think I'm liking the over 200 in Charlotte, Chicago.
God, you might be right on this. And again, they are supposed to be running more. This Jimmy Butler, not only a defensive beast, but he is the sprint. I mean, he's the one that takes the floor over as the floor general to run that damn fast break of theirs. So I think you might be right because Charlotte knows they can beat them, so they're not going to come in and slow it down. They're going to want to run it too. So,
all right, you know what? I am going to give that as an official pick. Over 200.
Yep.
Bam! In Charlotte, Chicago.
I pulled it out of it.
And also another team that's been going way over is Portland, right? Yeah. 6 straight overs. Usually each team gets to 100. They get to 100. The other team gets to 100. They put up 115 on Memphis the last time they played, which is who they're playing tonight. Memphis has gone under in 6 out of their last 7 games, except the one game that went over was against Portland. This line, though, has gotten bet down. It was 196.5 on the overnight. Now it's 194. Wow. I'm not sure what I think about that. Portland really going over against everyone, including Memphis recently.
Yeah, and I think also, Pete, part of the reason Portland has been going over is because of the fact of the defensive slack that they have. All right, they lost 4 starters from last year in trades and free agency and everything else. So you might be spot on that. You might be, but I'm staying away. But I think you got a good call on that.
I'm still thinking about what I think about that. And then
For some reason, I don't think you're going to put it out there officially.
No. And then maybe the funniest team in the league, the Sacramento Kings, right?
Yeah.
DeMarcus Cousins went on a profanity-laced tirade to Jordan. You know what that is? That's what he's like, you NF you SC you piece of S, you know? How can you do that to the coach? And then I read that Vlade Divac went and asked the players what they should do about George Karl. That seems like a team in disarray, but then the night after that happened against Detroit, they got a big win and cover.
They sure did. And I also saw where he apologized for the rant and rave. But you said a funny team. You know what? Now, there's no more funnier team than the Clippers. They're a fucking circus act is what they are. But, I'll just get away from that.
Okay.
But on that subject, and I mean this, I don't know. I just think right now Sacramento's got to make some decisions. And in the market today, it's going to be the player staying before the coach. I love George Karl, and he's, you know what surprises me, how he's blended with Rajon Rondo. Maybe D. Cousins will jump aboard here because if they can put this shit behind them, they got a decent roster when, they can run the ball, they can defend underneath, but there's a lot of drama and it's too much drama for me, but you're right, they're almost probably the second biggest circus act in the NBA behind the fucking Clippers.
Normally you'd be looking to fade a team like that, but given how they did against Detroit, maybe not. That game also went under, and with Brooklyn's been a big under team, that is a pick I really might be looking for given here as an official pick. 205.5 or 206 is the market-wide number. I'm thinking about under 206.
I figured you were thinking under. I have nothing to refute that. So
I don't know if I'm gonna.
I think you ought to put it out there. You left everybody hanging yesterday.
Yeah.
And again, there was only 3 games on tap, but I think you owe them, if not 1, maybe 2. Pete.
No, I don't.
I know. I don't like that
I only
word.
owe myself. To feel comfortable with everything that I give out publicly,
quality
because
picks, and I do
you know what these
respect
people, if I start giving out loser after loser, they're going to go on profanity-laced tirades at me in the comments on YouTube, and it'll be deserved. It'll be deserved.
Absolutely.
All right, well, that's all. A lot of interesting situations this Friday in the NBA. Mike Brenner, what would you like to give us as a free pick today?
Okay, well, I actually have 2, and I'm not trying to overdo it. I'm not. I just like the value, and I see it today.
Yeah,
all right, we're looking at the Houston Rockets going to Denver. Here's a team that they just hurt me the other day with the first half, and they've been up and down. They can't figure it out right now. And then you got Patrick Beverley gets arrested Wednesday. I don't know if you hear about that little misdemeanor charge, but that's the kind of distractions they're dealing with. And of course, Dwight Howard, is he going to play tonight? Is he going to show up? He's absolutely like the Brandon Marshall almost of the NFL and so forth. But I like the Rockets here on the first half.
Wow.
Because I think Mikhail's telling them, look, this shit's going to stop, and we got to start running the ball, and we got to get back on the defensive end. All right, they're just letting up too much fast break points. So the first half is -3, and I think James Harden just does what he does best. He's going to put this team on his back, open up early in the Mile High City. So Rockets on the first half -3.
Okay, interesting pick, Mike Brenner. You might be right. Always a little bit nervous to take a favorite at Denver, but you might be absolutely right. Houston -3. What's the second pick you'd like to share with us?
Okay, I like the Hawks are playing at the Celtics, and there's another team, and I'm not doing it because these other teams burnt me. Because the Nuggets, the Rockets and Celtics are very similar. They're inconsistent. Jekyll and Hyde, who are we going to get? And I understand they're putting some things together, but the Hawks have quietly put together a nice little run, and it's all because of coaching. All right, Budenholzer is the real deal from San Antonio, and I think coaching tonight wins this game. Brad Stevens has done a great job, and he's an up-and-comer in the league, but Budenholzer is not Budenholzer. He's not going to let his team lose focus because they're 8-2 right now. They're heading the right direction. But here's what's crazy. I looked at it, it was -1. Then I grabbed it at Heritage +1.
Right.
So I got the Hawks on the full game +1. I love it. I think the Hawks come in, take care of business. Right now, Horford, Millsap, and Teague are on top of their game. They're hitting on all cylinders. Hawks +1 against the Celtics.
I'll admit that I bet the Hawks on the overnight line at -1.
Okay.
Also at Heritage. I'm not going to give it an official pick here, but I was thinking the same way. 2 interesting picks for you, Mike Brenner. I'm just going to stick with the one over 200 in Chicago, Charlotte. Interesting show today, Mike Brenner.
Absolutely. And I got to get this out one more time. Kiss my ass, Clippers. Okay. Good to see you, buddy.
This is a man with feelings. All right. Thanks, Mike.
All right.